So, Karl, what is your favourite Halo game of all time?
Halo 3.
It's not even a question.
No hesitation, Halo 3.
You're not wrong.
Have you any idea how different my life would be if Halo 3 did not exist? A quantifiable percentage of my time at university was spent playing Halo 3.
Or Smash Bros. Brawl.
Or Smash Bros. When Halo 3 lost its luster.
It never lost its luster, Karl. It's still there in our hearts.
Halo 3 is still there. I love you, Halo 3.
Hello and a warm Wiki weekend. Welcome to all the guys, gals, and non-binary pals watching. I am Lucas Holland. I am joined, as always, by the lovely Karl Smallwood.
Hello.
And today we are talking about the fact that Hell and Halo has frozen over.
Yeah, we've now got Halo on a PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Master Chef, he's made that leap.
Master Chef John Halo himself on a PlayStation.
Is John Halo the funniest version of that meme? Where a character from like a piece of media is known primarily for their visual. So they'd become known as John name of thing, like John Helldiver.
I think the only one that's more impressive is just Doom Guy.
Doom Guy. He's not called John Doom Guy, though.
No, he's not, but like I do like the moniker of John Halo, but I think the idea that they didn't give their character a name and therefore it's just the Doom Guy.
Or the Doom Slayer now. So, I guess speaking of masked characters, you have Samus Aran of like, she's just called Metroid.
A lot of people just knew them as the title name Metroid, yeah. And
Metroid.
There's something about faceless space marines that apparently just brings that out.
You know what? If Samus Aran legally changed her name to Jane Metroid, I wouldn't be mad.
As usual on Wiki Weekends, I have a wiki for Halo Combat Evolved pulled up right now, and we're generally just going to use that as a jumping off point to probably go on a bunch of tangents and have a lot of fun. But yeah, Karl, Mr. John Halo himself is going to PlayStation 5.
You know what? I bet the people who make Halo games, like, I can't wait to make all that money from all those PlayStation fanboys who are like, let's see what all the... Oh god, this was a good game.
Yeah.
Killzone sucks shit compared to Halo.
Yeah, because, like, Killzone was that Halo killer back in the day, and it's... Okay, Halo's had its rough spot over the past, 15 years or so, but it's better than Killzone.
It was always hilarious to me, even as like a younger man who was like deep in those console wars. Even I knew back then that PlayStation had lost when they were specifically framing Killzone as a Halo killer. It's like, if your thing is poised as the thing to kill the other thing, your thing sucks the most.
Obviously, not great times. A Bungie of people are aware of what's going on over there at the moment. I am aware at the time of recording this video, by internet standards, going to feel old, because like the Halo news got announced like on a whim a couple of days ago. We got no prior warning, so this coming out like a week later than the news is going to seem a bit out of date. But yeah, at the time of recording, it's only been a couple of days. I'm like, holy shit. But Bungie, they made Halo, which everybody then had to be the Halo killer, and then they went and made Destiny, and everything had to be the Destiny killer. They were on a pretty good track record.
Yeah. Has there ever been an example of one of these, like, quote-unquote killers defeating the thing they were trying to compete with? Because the only one I can think of is, like, Fortnite and PUBG.
Yeah, true.
That is the only example I can think of someone copying a gimmick and doing the gimmick better.
Fortnite Battle Royale is the 100-player, last-man-standing PvP experience you know so well, but combined with the limitless world of Fortnite.
Obviously, PUBG didn't die, but Fortnite was way more successful.
Who's still playing PUBG?
Yeah.
My mum knows what Fortnite is. She doesn't know what PUBG is. Fortnite won.
Exactly, yeah. And that was a weird one because it wasn't even developed as a PUBG killer. It was just, hey, we've got this Fortnite game, should we put a battle royale in it because they seem to be getting popular?
So yeah, and I can't think of any other examples of that happening in gaming, but it happens so much more often in other media. Like, there's countless examples of covers of songs, for example, becoming better known than the thing they're a cover of, to the point where people assume that the person who covered the song is the original artist. And in some cases, like even the original artist admitting the cover is better than their version. Like Trent Reznor of like Nine Inch Nails, like, oh yeah, it's Johnny Cash's song now.
And there's so many kind of modern examples where it might not even be classified as like sampling a song because they use so much of it. People just don't know. And obviously that happened in our generation as well. I'm not trying to be like, oh, the new kids don't know about music. But it is wild how much people will just sample songs to the point where they're just stealing the song, right?
Yeah, I am a big fan of, on like TikTok and stuff, they've finally gotten around to the idea of Nightcore, but they don't call it Nightcore, they call it sped up version. It's just Nightcore. Like, time is a flat circle. Eventually, all kids discover Nightcore and like, this is sick.
I'm sure you can agree with me as a fan of Daft Punk. Like, there is an art to sampling music.
There is, yeah. One of my favourite stories from the world of music is when will.i.am did a cover, quote unquote, like cover was doing a lot of heavy lifting of Around the World. And will.i.am's cover literally started with him screaming in the mic, believe it or not, this is a remix. And then they just play Around the World for 40 seconds as he sings over the top of it. And Daft Punk sent him a cease and desist. Got it agreed that it wasn't transformed enough to count as a cover, and then issued a statement saying, and I quote, "We think our music sounds better without will.i.am involved."
Yeah, I think Daft Punk are one of the greatest examples of doing sampling correctly, because they will actually, as you mentioned, like transform the music involved. It's not just, I'm going to play this in the background and talk over it. And then obviously you've got the kind of other side of parody where Weird Al is just the master of that craft.
Yeah, to the point where like some of his parody songs, like he's not parodying a specific song, he's parodying entire styles. Like Dare to Be Stupid, it's not a parody of a specific Devo song, it's just a parody of Devo's sound. And even the members of Devo were like, he nailed it.
I'll show you how you can dare to be stupid.
Maybe everybody doesn't like parody songs, but I beg you to listen to a Weird Al song and not think, oh yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing here.
There's a level of artistry there that even if you don't like the song, you have to at least appreciate that. And speaking of parodies, a song I want you to put a clip in of, because we can't put clips in the music generally because copyright strikes, but there is a song from back in the Halo 3 days that me and all my Halo 3 buddies had on repeat because we felt it spoke to us. And he remixed this Akon song where it's him apologising to his wife for playing too much Halo 3. And just there's a couple of lines from that me and my friends would just quote all the time. The hook is like, so I was playing Halo 3 on the Xbox 360 edition legendary, hanging out with Master. And he has this like really whiny cadence to his voice to try and mimic Akon. But we'd always just be like, we'd sit on the sofa just going like, playing Halo 3 as we played Halo 3.
I was playing Halo 3, hanging out with Master Chief, edition legendary.
But yeah, we're not talking about Halo 3. We're talking about
Its daddy.
It's granddaddy, in fact, Halo Combat Evolved.
I don't care if it's God's own anti-son of a bitch machine or a giant hula hoop. We're not gonna let them have it. What we will let them have is a belly full of lead and a pool of their own blood to drown in. Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir!
Halo Combat Evolved is a 2001 first-person shooter video game developed by Bungie and published by Microsoft Game Studios for the Xbox. And yes, before everyone in the comments is like, oh, well, did you know? It's like, yes, it was developed originally for the Mac. And then
It was, yes.
Microsoft Game Studios went, that sure looks pretty cool. Maybe we should get that for Xbox, and maybe it should be a first-person shooter instead. Original Halo, was like a third-person shooter. They kind of had like a tech demo that I think has been shared around where it's like running on Mac, and they were like, they had the Warthog, and it was a pretty open level with not many enemies and stuff. But yeah, eventually it became Halo Combat Evolved, which pretty much, at least in terms of like console shooters, PC gamers, obviously, I know that you were doing first-person shooters before this, but console-wise, it changed the game.
Halo defined what a first-person shooter was. It basically just crystallized, this is how this game works, and specifically, this is how you interact with it using a controller. It basically just It standardized the input methods for a first-person shooter. Because prior to that, people had tried all sorts of nonsense. They had like GoldenEye, where you'd walk forward and your character view would reorientate to where you're walking. You have the nonsense in those like early PS1 games.
Yeah, with GoldenEye, you had to like hold, I think the not the right trigger, the right shoulder button, and then that's when you would like aim instead of moving.
No, Lucas, fine aiming.
Yeah, and obviously we're talking about this because the Halo campaign Evolved was announced, and they're now adding like sprinting and aim down sights and things like that to Halo. To modernize it, you still have the choice to go back, right? You still got Master Chief Collection right there with an already fine remaster of Halo Combat Evolved.
But it's not Halo if you can run. The whole point is that like it's
But it is because the modern Halos have that.
They do, and they're worse for it, in my opinion. I like the deliberateness of Halo. If I've got really good awareness of the map and weapon control, I felt like I could like get an edge on someone who's better at aiming than I could.
They have said that there's going to be a toggle in the options to whether you can or cannot sprint. So for old school fans, they've still got that option there, right? So I appreciate that like they're doing their best to try and modernize the game for people that haven't played Halo, but then at the same time, for old school fans, you can try and make it feel a bit more like the old game. But I get it. They're putting John Halo on PlayStation for the first time. These PlayStation fans that have never played a Halo game, we should probably make the game feel good for modern controls, right?
It's like we're trying to get people who've never played a Halo game before. They're probably aware of it via reputation. They're not going to accept a game where you can't sprint.
But should they accept a game, Karl, with no multiplayer?
Like multiplayer is, I argue, one of the key aspects of Halo's success. It's part of the core appeal. The experience of Halo was the shared camaraderie between everyone just playing the multiplayer.
Did you and I bond over playing the campaign? Well, to be fair, I did play the campaign with a friend, and co-op is also important, but that's like a one-day experience. Mm-hmm. Whereas I, have played Halo with you and many other friends for months, if not years, on, the multiplayer alone, and I'm just questioning the idea of like, hey, most friendships in Halo were forged in that multiplayer arena.
Yeah, like the multiplayer was just so peak.
Mm-hmm.
I contend like one of the best multiplayer experiences. Again, just I feel like the deliberateness of Halo just allowed, because I had friends that were so much better than me in Halo. They were so much better than me, but I could learn those maps. I could learn that movement tech. I could like get those like specific niche things of knowing exactly where things would spawn at what time.
Mm-hmm.
That would give me that edge over people who are quote unquote better at the game than me.
That's just not going to be there. But yeah, in Halo 1, obviously, it was local multiplayer, and Halo 2 was really the one that kicked things off in terms of the multiplayer because it had the Xbox Live compatibility and was pretty much, again, console-wise, PC players don't come at us, but console-wise, it was pretty much the example of an online multiplayer video game, Halo 2.
Oh yeah. Right, what was your favourite map on there? So I think your favourite Halo map talks to like who you are as a person.
I was not really a Halo 2 player, so I got in at Halo 3. Well, like
there's a few remixes on there, though.
A lot of people like myself went, oh, it's 2007, and the Xbox 360 has Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4.
Done.
Yeah, cool, let's go. So that was pretty much my beginnings of Halo, is Halo 3, but I think my favourite was always just Valhalla.
Valhalla's Blood Gulch. It's like the big map, two sides, vehicles as well. I love the vehicles in Halo, so fun.
Yeah.
Completely useless competitively, so fucking fun when you like if you've got a team of 4 and you all get in the Warthog at the same time. I've never had more fun. And
it's so fun as well to get the person in the Banshee and hijack their vehicle when they've like tried to swoop in and just splatter you. And it's like, oh, it's so satisfying to jump out the way and hijack the vehicle as they're doing it. I don't understand why like Halo lent more into the moment-to-moment gunplay. Like trying to like eat Call of Duty's dinner rather than trying to go the Battlefield route. So you're aware of like Battlefield's marketing? It always rolls around like Battlefield moments or like only in Battlefield. There's the classic, right, of the person that legitimately did it in the game that they then put in a trailer of they jumped out of a jet, rocket launched another vehicle in the sky. I can't remember if it was a jet or a helicopter, and then they fell and landed back in their jet and got away.
Yes, and the official marketing team for Battlefield for like a later game recreated that in CG, and the tagline is only in Battlefield, which is, you can only do that in Battlefield. I always wondered why Halo never did something similar. Not with the scale, because Battlefield has the scale, but do you know those like random moments of like when you accidentally get 4 kills with one sticky grenade?
Yeah.
Like those really specific interactions that could happen if you played hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Like, I can't remember, was it called Narrows?
Narrows,
with
yes.
the bridge and the like man cannons on either side, and you'd see so many like machinima cuts of people throwing sticky grenades into the man cannons and just hoping for the best.
Yeah, and I always wonder why like Halo never doubled down on not necessarily the randomness, but the amount of ways you could approach a combat scenario that wasn't just shooting a gun. Like, I distinctly recall on like I said, like Narrows, going over that man cannon, following someone over the man cannon, melee them in midair. I can't think of another game where I could like just do that to someone in midair in a game.
Yeah,
but they seemingly just double down on like it's okay. It's a asymmetrical level, 3 corridors. You all start with a battle rifle. Go.
Yeah, the Halo 3 maps where they had a random assortment of some really open areas, some other like 3 corridor, really tight shooters, some other ones where it was all about the verticality of the map, and there'd be like 3-4 levels, and you could always like jump back up and down between them as well.
I always appreciated like the asymmetric design of a lot of Halo levels, whereas you play like Call of Duty and it's just every level is 3 corridors. And once you like, I remember once I was playing Call of Duty, like one of the Black Ops, and I was playing with a friend, and just he said over the mic of like, have you ever noticed how every Call of Duty level is 3 corridors? And as soon as he said that, I couldn't play it anymore.
No, yeah,
So
it is, yeah.
every single one is. They're 3 corridors. Halo, you had stuff like Narrows is the closest you get to the 3 corridors, but at least the corridors have fucking man cannons on them. And there's like verticality to your approach, but there's stuff like Snowbound.
The double bridge, right?
Yep.
Where you had the bridge underneath that you could sneak through, and there was a lot of verticality to those 3 corridors, yeah. Obviously, we're talking about Halo Combat Evolved here, but I just generally wanted an excuse to talk about Halo in general, because
hell yeah,
Halo's fucking awesome, and I like the idea of people being able to play games wherever they want, but it is really indicative of the times that Xbox is in right now as like a company, as a brand, of like, hey, we have nothing left. Like, Halo is going to be on PlayStation. Help us, give us money.
Yeah, so we'd rather make games. They're doing the Sega route, right? Of like, we don't want to compete with Nintendo. We're just going to make games. Sonic can go to a Nintendo console. Nintendo can worry about the cost of producing the console. We'll just make the games.
I can't remember which person said it, so I'll maybe put like a little correction above. But one of the execs at Xbox recently said that exclusives are meaningless. And let me tell you the amount of people that I've spoken to in work that are playing Pokemon Legends CA right now. And I'll ask you, how meaningful are exclusives, right?
The console fanboying never really made any sense to me, even when I was part of it. Of just, well, I bought the rectangle that I can afford.
Nintendo are giving you a reason to buy that over like a Steam Deck. Do you want to play Pokemon? It's pretty much the only place you can play Pokemon, at least legally.
You said Steam Deck, I have to mention the greatest hard drive headline of why buy a Switch 2 when you can just buy a Steam Deck and never shut the fuck up about it. It lives rent-free in my head. It's such a good headline. It's so perfect.
Yeah. And like, again, I say, like, the only place you can play Pokemon games legally, because, yeah, no one with a Steam Deck will ever shut up about the fact, well, I can also play Pokemon games. I just have to go to the pirate route.
It's like, I love video games so much that I don't pay for them, thereby actively contributing to the destruction of the medium I spend all my time engaging with.
Yeah. But anyway, Karl.
Yes.
Halo Combat Evolved was also ported to Microsoft Windows and Mac OS X in 2003, but it was also later released as a downloadable Xbox Original for the Xbox 360. And I know they're using the Xbox Original for like the terminology of the downloadable game, but is that what we have to call the Xbox?
I just call it the Fat Xbox.
Because the Xbox One is the Xbox One, and then I like to use the OG Xbox.
I just call it the Fat Xbox. Most people know what you mean when you say the fat one. It's pretty big. Pretty fucking heavy.
Big.
I remember like, my friends knew that I'd got one. My cousin had one and he got rid of it and we got it instead. My friends knew I'd got one, so they saw the window being pulled out for it to be put into my front room. Like, oh, have you got a PlayStation, Karl? Like, we saw like your dad having to pull windows out to get PlayStation through. We thought you were getting a new sofa till we saw how big it was.
I don't have that much nostalgia for the original Xbox because I never had that one. That was one of the few consoles I've not owned that came out during my lifetime.
Okay.
And I played it at friends' houses and stuff, played a bit of Halo, played a bit of Halo 2, and really got into it in Halo 3 with the 360, as I said. I still walked past shop the other day that in the window had a purple Duke controller replica that was like the special edition, modern Xbox controller, but it was like the translucent purple on a Duke controller.
Bring it back. Oh, we talk about bring it back.
Yeah.
It's the coolest technology I've ever looked.
It dragged me to the window, and then I looked, and it's like, oh, 100 quid. I was like, oh, I can't. I don't have that much nostalgia for the Xbox that I'm willing to do £100 on a bad controller.
And I'm not sure what the specific term is for that translucent look that technology had for that couple of years in time. I love that.
Oh no, there is actually a term for it. It's called cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's so rad. Why is it not the standard?
I know. Oh, pisses me off.
I always thought that looked future as fuck. And you mentioned not having much nostalgia for the original Halo. I do. As mentioned, I got my cousin's old Xbox and I played Halo 1 and 2 just endlessly with my brother. I have such a specific memory of Halo 2 because I remember I got a Fever You Can't Sweat Out. The album by Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
And the original Xbox, like the Fat Xbox, could have CDs on it.
It could, yeah. Have your music in your hard drive, yeah.
You could put music on your hard drive and play it while you played a game. And so in my head, just that album and Halo 2 are just forever linked because I played the entirety of Halo 2 listening to Fever You Can't Sweat Out.
That's a 2004 ass.
That ages me like somewhat chronic, right? To the point where I went to see Panic at the Disco perform, and while I was there, I was getting really nostalgic for Halo 2. Well, I was there with like, my girlfriend at the time. It's like, on the way there, it's like, what are your memories of this album? That's like playing Halo 2.
I have good memories of Halo Combat Evolved, but it was from the remake of it that ended up on the Master Chief Collection. So it was like the Combat Evolved remaster, where I absolutely adore the gimmick of press one button and it shows you the translation between the graphics.
Oh, that's so fun.
It's so good.
Adore that.
So what's classic mode? At the touch of a button, you can swap back and see how the game looked 10 years ago. So here it is. This is, Halo 1 10 years ago. And it's really a magical feature for Halo fans because this just lets you go back in time and see exactly how this game looked 10 years ago. But the fun part is you can come back at any time.
Obviously, the new campaign Evolved isn't going to have that. It's a full remake from the ground up. But just that gimmick of like, at any time, you can just play it like Halo looked. And you can, I was playing Halo 2 maybe last year. And you can have those, like, Blur Studios, incredible CGI, massive-looking cutscenes.
Like money burning on screen.
Money burning on screen cutscenes. And at any point, you can press the button, and instead of, like, there's the bit with the arbiter that I specifically remember, where there's a crowd of, like, 1,000 Covenant, all like, yeah, like, fuck the arbiter, like, game, and then you press the button, and there's just like 5 grunts in the background. And
It's
no.
so good though, because it's an immediate visual like representation of how far the medium has come.
Mm-hmm.
And I love stuff like that. It's that Mortal Kombat thing they did recently. I've been meaning to pick it up. It's not just all the early Mortal Kombat games. It is effectively a playable museum that walks you through the history of the franchise. Like, as someone who is obsessed with things like DVD extras and making of documentaries, shit like that is like crack to me. I fucking love that stuff. I would love one for Halo. Remember all those like vidocs they did for like Halo 3? They were awesome.
The vidocs, yeah, like
they were so like, in the lead up to Halo 3. They were like, here's just a mini thing. Like, here's us doing the sound effects for the guns.
Yeah, and Bungie have been great with that. Even as like a Destiny fan, I've been a Destiny fan since it came out, and I've kind of waned on the game, as many people have over the past year or so. But they would release so many vidocs talking about like the development of the game and like behind the scenes stuff and like interviews with developers and things, and they've always been just top tier at that. And I do want to just shout out the people that are making the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection with a K, of course, Digital Eclipse. They are like the goats of just making that kind of collection. There's an Atari 50 collection where it's like 50 years of Atari. I never grew up with Atari. I don't care about Atari. But I'm tempted to get that game on sale at some point just to go through all of the behind-the-scenes extras that they've put in there.
Yeah. So you're not a fan of Atari, but you're a fan of the medium, the history. It reminds me to an extent of a video we made recently, depending on when people were watching this, I suppose, of Van Helsing. While I was like doing the edit for that, I ended up watching all of the behind-the-scenes stuff for the making of that movie. And Van Helsing is this, fairly well received, largely forgotten now, 2004 action vehicle with Hugh Jackman in it. And these like making of documents, like they actually set a dude on fire. They built all the sets. And I was like, I'm so glad this exists because this is fascinating.
I don't want to be old man yells at Cloud, but it is a little bit depressing when you look at the behind the scenes of like Avengers Endgame. It's like, yeah, we did everything on a blue screen. Or Mandalorian, of like, the volume.
And I do get frustrated when you see stuff like that and it's just all CGI. But then they'll say, okay, here's like the costume designer and their sketches. And they've got like 1,000 sketches of like Captain America looking boss as fuck. And it's like, yeah, it just goes in the vault and we know we're going to see it again. And it's going to be a bonus on Disney Plus nobody watches. Like, speaking of which, in Halo, did you like happen to catch like a couple of years ago when I think it was Martin O'Donnell who did the soundtrack?
Marty O'Donnell, yeah.
He released like a thing of like, I was just digging through my archives and I found this. He is the first recording session with Steve Vai, the guitarist.
Oh, wow.
When we were doing like the Mjolnir mix of Halo, do you know the one with the proper sick guitar solo?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
And you see like, it's Nile Rodgers, you mentioned Daft Punk earlier, he's like the guitarist on Get Lucky, he's like this just session musician who's legendary. Both in the studio. Steve Vai sat there and you see him in real time just nail that riff second one. It's like, so you get to see in real time the creation of that song. It's like just Steve Vai just improvises it on the fly. It's like, that's it. That's the Halo theme.
So give a shout out, yeah, it's Martin O'Donnell or Marty O'Donnell, and then Michael Salvatore as well. So they're all their composers, and that is one thing that's very interesting. Is I can think to myself of like Halo Combat Evolved. I don't really have too many memories of because again, like I played it later. Halo 3 was my game, but all I think about is like the vocal chants, like the choir.
The Gregorian chant and all the oh. And did Halo kickstart that? Because there was a period in the 2000s where Gregorian chants were everywhere, and there was like Gregorian chant covers of songs. Did Halo kickstart that?
I do think so, yeah. And then there's also just the like da da da,
the Mjolnir mix
and the Mjolnir, and like I can't think of any soundtrack beat in Halo 4, 5, Infinite.
No. It might be one of the greatest themes for a video game. Like I can't think of like a more epic like soundtrack for like a shooter.
It. second one.
Let's narrow it down, because obviously there's plenty of good video game tracks. Let's say first-person shooters. Can anybody out there think of, like, a theme song from a first-person shooter that sticks in their head?
Yeah, because in terms of, like, video game soundtracks, I would argue that, obviously, they took a lot of elements from classical music, but the theme for Legend of Zelda, I think, really sells the concept of adventure, especially for, like, an NES game. And obviously they reiterated that theme and remixed it many, many times.
A leitmotif for the entire series.
I can't think of many other than Legend of Zelda where the main theme just sells that feeling of the game so much as Halo does.
Yeah, it's like, I forget which specific mission it is in Halo 3, but it's where, like, the army's, like, gathering. And it's like you say, it's the da-na-na-na, and then you get, like, the guitar solo just comes in the background. It makes you want to, like, just, I want to be there. I want to jump in that, like, warthog and fucking charge at, like, the Prophet. Yeah, it's, like, one of the most memorable soundtracks. Like I said, gaming. I'd say content in gaming, probably one of the more memorable ones, but specifically first-person shooters, it's not been topped. There's not a single first-person shooter like soundtrack out there. I think would be, except maybe the Modern Warfare 2 one. Have you ever given that a listen without the game? That's weirdly good. That was Trent Reznor did that, and it's actually really good if you listen to it. It's just none of it's memorable in the game because the game has you like just shooting people for like 4 hours straight. The actual soundtrack itself's pretty decent.
You can just say the words Trent Reznor. And it's probably a memorable soundtrack.
I think it was Hans Zimmer as well. I think Hans Zimmer worked on one of the Call of Duty games, but like, you're not topping that like Halo theme. That Mjolnir mix with Steve Vai on the guitar. It's like,
Tron Ares came out not that long ago, and everyone's like, yeah, it's a shit movie with an absolute wanker on screen. But yeah, the soundtrack is really good.
Yep, banger of a soundtrack, just like the previous one, right? It's like, would you get in Daft Punk? Hell yeah.
Yeah, all they've done is made shit movies with fucking banger soundtracks.
They have indeed, yes. And like, yeah, man, I love Halo so much. The Halo theme whips ass. I love that as well. They knew how good it was because, like, you know what, the Mjolnir mix, we put in the Xbox 360 version of Guitar Hero 2.
Originally, it was meant to be a real-time strategy game that then morphed into a third-person shooter, then becoming a first-person shooter during development, and then actually, like, while they were developing the game, Bungie got acquired by Microsoft. Bungie have a bad experience of being acquired by publishers. Just gonna put that out there, but Halo was a critical and commercial success and is often praised as one of the greatest video games ever made, and it was acclaimed for its graphics, soundtrack, and multiplayer in particular.
Yes, and you mentioned like it was originally an RTS. Did you get all that into Halo Wars?
I really enjoyed Halo Wars 1. I don't think I've finished it, but just the idea of piling up a bunch of ODSTs and doing like the Zerg rush, right?
Yes, so a friend of mine, one of the friends I played a lot of Halo 3 with, we got super into Halo Wars 2 to the point where I think like the highest rank in the game was like Onyx or something, and he was like in that rank, whatever the top rank was, and I was like one below it. We got that fucking good, and we got to the point where it's not going to mean a lot to anyone, but we specifically figured out a way you could play the game to have a scarab out in like less than 5 minutes.
Oh my god!
You do like even when people were playing the game, like they'd probably have like a dozen or so warthogs if they were playing decently enough. A dozen warthogs is not doing shit against a scarab. I
only like playing against the AI because I'm not very familiar with RTS games at all. I just like Halo, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm even using the terminology right, but I would just love that thing of send a couple of units out to keep people busy, but just build up that like massive entire group of low-level just like troops. Just send them all in one go.
The swarm.
Just rush the enemy with a swarm, and I love doing that. You send in like a Spartan, but then like 1,000 ODST troopers and see what happens.
Yeah, because we like doing like min-maxing. We love to see like, we got to a point where we understood the game's mechanics to the point where if we play like the meta picks and play optimally, we'll probably win. That's not fun. So instead, let's see what else we can do. So we got to the point where we developed the most annoying turtle tactic possible, where we would just build a base that had like 6 fucking shield generators on it at the same time, and then within the shield generator specifically position every bit of artillery we could around it. And then put all of our like hero units in like garrisons, which gave them extra health, and just like level them up to the point where our bases were basically indestructible. And it was to the point where my mate survived against like 3 opponents, all using like their end game leader powers on it, and his base just didn't get destroyed.
Oh my god!
Because at a certain point, like even if they're coming in and using a full army, his army was like fully leveled up to like veteran status. They had like 4 times as much health, and they have all the bonuses from being in garrisons under shields. It's like we had a game once go on for 4 hours, and one by one our opponents just quit one after the other because they couldn't win. We only had one base each, but those bases weren't dying.
I've not played Halo Wars with you, and I do probably at some point, just when this game comes out, the Campaign Evolved game comes out, I do probably want to sit you down and be like, Karl, we're buying this, and we are playing through that campaign co-op, because I have not experienced that, like, ever with Halo 1. I've never done a co-op campaign running Halo 1. Halo 3, I had a couple of friends, we all got in, we did, like, the legendary runs and all that jazz. But Halo 1, I'm like, Karl, I'm just going to grab you. I'm just going to get you.
Can we listen to, like, Panic at the Disco's album when we do it?
We can.
Yes!
We can, yeah.
Can we get some Mountain Dew and Doritos?
Yeah. We can sit on a throne of Mountain Dew and Doritos.
You know what, that could be kind of fun if we did like a proper like throwback of like we're going to do all the stereotypes about gamers from that era. Like we'll get some Mountain Dew, we'll get some Doritos, we'll wear like the whole Crusher fit, right? The Zelda t-shirt with the cargo shorts.
I think what I might need to do is try and see if I can get one of those This is an Xbox t-shirt and see if I can find one of them.
Reminds me of a friend who he played a lot of FIFA on PlayStation, and there was one team in FIFA who was sponsored by Xbox. So he specifically played that team, so that when he won and scored goals, so like one of the celebrations pointing at their shirt,
it'd be the Xbox logo.
They'd point at the Xbox logo, so he beat people with that team, and then they'd point at the Xbox logo, and people would quit. Because they're that deep in those console wars.
This game came out November 15th, 2001. Obviously was like a launch day game for Halo, for the Xbox. And it says here by November 2005. So 4 years later, 4 years, the game had sold more than 6 million copies, according to this Wikipedia page.
That's a lot of Spartans. I think Halo as well had probably one of the strongest marketing campaigns. Like Halo 3's marketing campaign is probably never going to be topped because that shit was on the news.
Yeah, they got it was Neil Blomkamp.
Neil Blomkamp did a live action trailer. Yeah, there was I really like the diorama on Believe, where it's the full Halo 3 diorama with Master Chief holding the plasma grenade. The only campaign I could think of from that era that was as big was the Grand Theft Auto 4 one, where they had in Times Square the full-size mugshot of Nico on the side of the building.
They also got Peter Moore to get that GTA 4 tattoo on his arm, right? Or Peter Moore decided to do that, I'm not sure, but...
I miss, though, when like they advertise video games like movies, because they wanted to establish them as like, hey, this medium is important, it's popular. So they'd put them on billboards and stuff, and there's not really much value in that, I suppose, with most everything being online. But I did appreciate, like, for example, them releasing actual TV trailers for Halo.
For 7 hours, we couldn't do anything but be still and listen to them hunting us. All we could do was sit and wait for Master Chief.
It used to be really big, and like I know like, gaming is bigger now, but it felt bigger back then because of like the companies were really desperate to legitimize the medium.
Yeah.
So the example I always use is the Metal Gear Rising portrait from Leeds, where they just painted like this for Metal Gear Rising Revengers, just painted this like 30-foot high Raiden on the side of a building that stayed there for 15 years.
Yeah, but fuck you, it's gone now.
Yeah, it's H&M poster. It's gutting, but I just like that. It's like, that is a legitimately fantastic piece of artwork.
Yes, it was a very good piece of art in general, and it just so happened to be a Metal Gear Rising advertisement.
Yeah, like I said, like the Halo 3 one, like the Believe one with the diorama, is legitimately fantastically well made.
Yeah,
or like they said, the Neil Blomkamp live action thing, which is awesomely... It looks so good.
Yeah, the Halo 3 launch was maybe one of the most hyped launches of all time, I would argue, still to this day.
Were you midnight release?
Yeah.
I was at work though, so I couldn't go, but my friend did, and he got 2 copies.
I was so hyped that I didn't have a 360, I couldn't afford the game, and I went to watch my friend buy the game, and then went back and played it at theirs.
It's great. Oh man, I play so much fucking Halo 3. I play so much Halo 3. Goddamn, Halo 3 was awesome.
See, I did, but then I think, how much more did I play Destiny? But it's like, but Halo 3 got me for, what, a 2-3 year period before Halo Reach came out, and that became a multiplayer game. And
oh god, I remember at a certain point there was websites that track your stats and stuff, and there was one website that tracked how long you'd spent looking at the respawn screen.
Right.
Every time you died in Halo, you had 5 seconds where you look at your respawn screen. And it was at the point where our friend group had collectively spent a week looking at the respawn screen, and we just joked, went, so we probably just spent collectively a week watching our characters in Halo be teabagged.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know how much teabagging was involved in the first Halo, but by Halo 3 they had it down.
The fact that in Halo 3 they gave the bodies physics so they realistically bounce up and down as you teabag them.
Yeah.
Teabagging's never been more hilarious than it was in Halo 3.
There was a stickiness to the teabagging where if you crouch up and down, if people don't remember, the teabagging is like crouching up and down on somebody when they're dead, and the body of the deceased would stick to your crotch and bounce up and down as you did it.
In Halo 3, because as well, you'd have to the kill screen, we got 5 seconds, and just watching that 5 seconds of someone's walking up going, and it was funny every single time.
And again, Bungie knew what they were doing because they kept that shit in Destiny, and let me tell you, it's effective.
It's effective. It's psychological warfare.
It really is, because the moment someone does that, you're like, right, I need to I need to get that person back.
Lucas, then, what was your tried and true method? Because I was always an old school, I would deliberate everybody straight over teabag, even if it wasn't my kill. My friend was he was more a fan of you walk past the body and gun butt so cartwheels out the way. Another friend of mine would throw the grenade at it. What was your raison d'etre?
Mine was the grenade. Yeah, the grenade. Yeah, I was about to say it was respectful, but when you mentioned the grenade, it was like, no, yeah, that's what
for the insult, right?
Yeah.
But I would do it any opportunity I had to do it, even my own teammates, I would, because I just remember I laughed every time, because when people did it back to me, I would giggle watching my character. I never found it offensive or upsetting. I always giggled when it happened.
See, I find it more offensive when it's not even a fair match already, because when I can tell that I went into Trials of Osiris a lot, where you get a lot of high level gear, and people were very try hard. And I would go in, and I'm not a tryhard at all, and get my ass kicked. And there would be those matches where we hadn't got a kill, and yet they're still coming over and teabagging us. And yeah, this is
at a certain point, it stops being annoying and starts being funny.
This is like punting a baby at this point. I have nothing over you.
But Lucas, right? Then at a certain point, it becomes a competition. How far can you punt that baby? How much distance can you get on it? Like I said, it got to the point where I remember I got a turbo controller and remapped my control scheme just to teabag faster. I didn't use it for anything but teabagging super fast because it looked hilarious. And I went, and I wouldn't use it to try and avoid getting shot or anything like that. I only used it for teabagging because it made me giggle that much. Because I said the physics made the body just bounce out of the atmosphere, and it cracked me up every time.
I think the one version that I have of it is in Smash Bros, where as soon as I'm playing as Captain Falcon, the moment I get a kill, I will spam, show me your moves, show me your moves, show me your moves.
Show me your moves.
That's I think my closest equivalent.
remember once we were playing like Infection. Like when you played Infection, the guy's like, so it's like zombie survival mode. And the last dude is just like in the corridor with a shotgun, and the zombies get him. There's always like 14 zombies to start teabagging at once. It's a really. If you've got the right attitude for it and you're not an arsehole, it's really funny.
I still think the funniest Halo moment for me, when I was playing with you at least, that stuck in my head, was when you went in and was like, let's do doubles. And I'm like, okay, sure. And you got one kill and went, let's hide.
Oh yeah, because I speaking about placement and stuff, with a friend of mine, we'd spend hours in multiplayer figuring out all the hiding spots on all the maps. And there's some place in, like, you don't really have this in games anymore.
No.
Like, the verticality of Halo really lent itself to just wedging yourself into a corner.
Yeah. Like, literally, Karl went, we're 1-up. We've got 10 minutes on this match. Let's just hide.
You were like, wait, what? And I went, trust me, follow me. And I took you to one of my little secret hiding spots. And you tell me, Lucas, was that or was that not one of the funniest games of Halo?
It was very funny. It was really memorable and really funny. And it was just watching these other two players run around in frustration for like 9.5 minutes trying to find us.
I can't imagine how frustrating it was to play against. But one of my fondest memories, Lucas, is me and you sat there just giggling.
Yeah.
And then every now and again, like, you just like open the mic and go, we're over here, and then shut it down again.
And I think one of us got killed, and you just went, got another kill, and hit again.
Hit again.
And it's just, oh god.
I remember doing that, and like it was like 9 straight minutes of me and my mate hiding, and like with the both, it was like 30 seconds to the end of the game, and they were both, and we just went down, got the final kill, and just started teabagging. You just the mic, like the most intense string of expletives you've ever heard, and we couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny.
The airboard rule, right? There's nothing in the rules to say that we can't do this.
There was straight up one of the maps where you could get underneath the map if you know how to wangle it right, and there's nothing the opponent could do. But the funniest part is, you could still hit the enemy with gun butts, but they couldn't hit you. So if they like stood above you trying to get you, and if the moment you saw them like go throw a grenade or something and net a shield off, you could gun butt through the level and kill them.
I cannot wait to play Halo Campaign Evolved with you, but I am very, very sad that there is no multiplayer involved, or at least
I bet people at home are like, I'm glad Karl's not playing that multiplayer. That sounds infuriating.
But if you have enjoyed this video, or you just enjoy Halo discussions in general, make sure to give this video a like, and check out the description and support us on Patreon, because God knows what the way YouTube is going right now, we need it.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely time to talk about Halo, but not a lovely time to be putting out YouTube videos. So we appreciate the support.
The only way we can get more views on this is if you make the thumbnail like Master Chief and just put like woke question mark in the thumbnail.
No, God, no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, but maybe I'll just put John Halo.
John Halo? He's just Mr. John Halo.
Mr. John Halo himself, and yeah.
Do you think we can convince people that we don't know his real name if we just keep calling him John Halo?
Well, we do know his name. His name's John Halo.
It's John Halo, right, yeah.
Hope you all enjoyed the video and have a lovely day.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Go play some John Halo.
Don't play some John Halo.
What a story, Karl Lucas. That sure was a great video.
I wasn't
not
sure
gonna
what
stop.
you were doing for a second.
So welcome to our shout-outs to our big PPs over on Patreon. And PP stands for Patreon Producer. We call them PPs because it's funny to say.
Karl, they're the big people.
They are the big PPs, yes. And if you would like to become a big PP, you can follow the links found below to become a member of our Patreon and hear your name be shouted out like we're about to do now. And the first name to shout out, Lucas, is someone who's taken a gauntlet I threw down on the ground many, many months ago and decided to put a piece of poo in it and then slap me across the face with it by creating ever more elaborate and difficult tongue twisters. So the first person I need to shout out is, through rough, cough, sloughing snuffles, brought tough, thought-fraught throngs through slough, like Altin suppose the stress. And it appears that their name got cut off by the character limit over on Patreon, so do be aware of that. Yeah, but I think I nailed that tongue twister. I also like as well, like referencing slough in a tongue twister. It's slough.
Or imagine being able to be magically whisked away to Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
And yeah, I'm going through some rough coughs at the moment, so it's quite fitting. So if I sound a little bit off, I'm just ill still, and I still want to be here to just shout out everyone and give thanks for support. So,
yes, literally fighting through illness. And before we did this, Lucas just looked at me like, Karl, I don't think I'm going to make it.
But the next person we have to thank for their lovely support is Daddy Grunt. And Karl, obviously, we could acknowledge Daddy part of Daddy Grunt, but I'm just going to say, like, in terms of grunting, in terms of, like, acting, what's your favourite kind of, like, effort in a video game or whatever?
There's a couple for me. I do like the efforts for Isaac Clarke in the Dead Space game, because all of his like grunts of just to the point where he literally starts shouting "fuck you" if you swing around his gun enough.
I was going to make a joke of I like the noises that the grunts make in Halo when they're just and screaming.
Like, what's your favourite grunt scream and why is it not again when they get hit by a plasma grenade? And the next person to shout out is somebody who has taken that poo-poo covered gauntlet I mentioned earlier, picked it back up off the floor and slapped me across the other cheek by coming up with a name that is a series of words in a language I do not speak. So let's give that a go, shall we? So, next person to shout out is Tinakui, Hochata, Oxilane, Tomi, Sema, Sikapatia, Ta, Nitla, Maktia, Ipan, Kalta, Maktilioyan. And if I've mispronounced that, I'm very, very sorry. If you can't tell, I'm very bad at pronouncing words I'm not familiar with. So I deeply apologise for my bad pronunciation, but I do get the feeling that the person who picked that as their name on Patreon kind of wanted to see me fail a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Just the thing is, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not too much where we're going to get cancelled for like, have you heard how bad that pronunciation is? But enough where they can be like, look at this fucking dude just struggle.
Playa, Yakur.
Of the volcano. Aya Fiatla Jurgen. Here.
Eja Fiatla Kula.
I mean, speaking of struggling, Karl, I don't even have words for the next shout out, so.
That's what I mean. Like, people have, like, these gauntlets. I feel like there's multiple gauntlets now with multiple kinds of poo in them that people are like throwing at us left and right. So the next person has not even submitted a name; they've submitted a story told via emojis. So Lucas, what is this story?
I don't necessarily know what the story is. I can't quite grasp it, but it does appear to be a series of faces made out of punctuation. So I'm gonna do my best to describe what I see.
So Lucas, I now get to say one of my favourite lines from one of my favourite bad game shows. Say what you see.
£290. What do you think it is?
Tip the waiter.
I see burning dragon, uwu face, happy face, glasses face, maybe butt cheeks, little jazz hands face, and then an angry face throwing a table at a very scared looking face. Yeah, did I just absolutely fail at getting the prize in catchphrase?
Like, no one will ever fail harder than just a snake charmer. We mention it all the time. I'm putting the clip in again.
Means concentrate. Here we go. Sean, snake charmer.
And the next person to shout out is Rosalindus Memphis. And we need to shout out Rosalindus Memphis, one, for their long-time support, because I recognise this name. It's been in like multiple of these big PP shout-outs. And also for just having a nice, short, easy-to-pronounce name that doesn't embarrass myself or Lucas.
True.
And I mentioned in the last like big PP shout-out, I do try to put in like a fun clip for each person's name when we shout them out. And the one I keep trying to put in for Rosalindus Memphis is a song with the word Memphis in it.
I find it funny, Karl, because I said months and months ago now that you're going to regret throwing this challenge down so hard, and now here we are. But somebody else that has kept it simple is Kicking Bucket, who also has decided to, I think it was last month, they added in also having a table flip emote in there. So we've got multiple little angry table flip emotes in there.
And Kicking Bucket is a euphemism for, just eating shit. So Lucas, what's the most you've eaten shit recently in a video game?
I mean, I've been playing Hollow Knight Silksong, Karl. So
say no more.
Like, all I can see in my head is just like Hornet, just like, Shah!
Well, for me, it's Borderlands, because I bought Borderlands 4, and I shit you not, it won't boot up.
Oh my god.
It crashes on boot if you're connected to the internet.
It just dies, it kills itself.
Literally, like, as soon as you start the game, it crashes on boot. So I think the entire game refusing to play, that's like the entire game just died. It's great. Amazing. Fuck you, fix that shit, Randy. Premium games, premium players, they won't even boot up without being connected to the internet. Fucking legendary. The next person to shout out is Lucille DeSteele. And Lucas, I've kind of been, taking the reins on this one, because Lucille DeSteele is another long-time supporter, and I keep putting in clips of real steel. So instead of me putting in a clip from one of my favourite, comfort movies, guilty pleasure movies, whatever you want to call it, what's a guilty pleasure / comfort movie for you I can put a clip in from?
Hopefully you can get away with putting a clip in, but my answer is going to be Lilo and Stitch, and not because it's necessarily a guilty pleasure film, but more I take a lot of guilty pleasure in the amount of just Stitch merchandise I constantly buy.
Yeah, and I'd say you get to pick which clip I'm going to put in, but it's of course where Lilo just absolutely goes to town on that little girl and starts delivering the hammer fists.
You're crazy.
Why do they not teach the little girl playing Lilo in the live action reboot MMA shit so she could just deliver the beatdown of all beatdowns?
So this is where you get her in the arm lock. Oh god. And the next person we have to thank, Karl, is Bee of Awesome, who has provided the answer to the riddle that they provided last month, which I'm a big fan of. The idea of giving us a month worth of setup and then a month worth of payoff.
And Lucas, would you like to remind people the riddle they posed to us last month? Because that's another fun thing people are doing with the big PP shoutouts of posing questions and riddles to us that we have to answer. It's answer me my riddles 3.
So Bee of Awesome, the answer to last week's riddle, what lies on the ground 100 feet in the air? It is an upside down centipede. And
should have seen that one come in.
Yeah, I read that and was like, how does that make any sense? Why would there be any...
We admitted to not cheating. We could have cheated for that riddle and made us look really smart, but we figured we could cheat for the riddle and look smart, but then people are going to see us try and pronounce these foreign words and just then know we're not that smart. But the next person to shout out is ghost emoji, little ghost emoji, and it is spooky month. Lucas, do you have a favourite ghost or character who is now a ghost? That's not going to be too much of a spoiler.
Well, I'm going to go with Pokemon, as I do love Pokemon, and I'm going to say Mimikyu, because
that's fair.
It's quite fitting for October, I'd say. It's in permanent outfit of Pikachu cosplay, because if it's not
wearing a Halloween costume, right?
It's literally wearing a Halloween costume, but if the Halloween costume falls off, everybody dies.
I know it can't be, but could it be? Pikachu's head!
And then next person we have to thank, Karl, is Split Scream, another person that has just, gracefully not punished us, so I have to thank them for that.
And their name is Split Scream, and we are in Spooky Month, as mentioned. So, Lucas, is there a favourite example you have of what I like to refer to as scream acting, which is where actors just scream real loud and it's very convincing, or, at the very least, entertaining?
Well, my favourite moment of scream acting is in the movie Scream, where they...
I knew it. I knew it. When Matthew Lillard just gnaws on the scenery. Yeah,
yeah, of course. The faking death moment, just, the reveal. It's yeah.
That's right. You gave it up. Now you're no longer a virgin. That virgin. Now you gotta die. Those are the rules.
My favourite example of proper scream acting is Shalto Copley in District 9, where he's just screaming in with his really broad South African accent of fuck you fucking prawns. He's so good. He spends half that movie just fucking screaming, and then the other half annihilating people with pigs launched at Mach 3.
Not the Mach 3 pigs.
No one wants the Mach 3 pig. Except for Shalto Copley, because he's fucking prawns! And last but not least, we have to shout out Ranma Satami. And it's really fun as well, because when I booted up my computer this morning to start work, I saw we had a Patreon subscribe, and it was Ranma Satami. I'm like, that's perfect. Me and Lucas are doing the shout outs later today. They picked us at the post and got it at the last possible second to get their name in the credits.
There's my name right there.
Ranma Satami.
Looks more like Brad Storch.
No, it says Betty. Betty Symington. That's for taking credit for other people's work.
We appreciate the support of our big PPs. Our PPs are just everyone who watches these videos, especially if you're watching it to the end and seeing us talk now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.